Ehsan Sehgal's critical article published in Asia Times, an online newspaper, "Failures of UN Bring Us Further Toward Third World War." The United Nations came into being as an alternative intergovernmental organization to the failed League of Nations, with a determination to encourage and boost international cooperation and to establish and create and maintain international order. Unfortunately, it has become ineffective. The UN's 6 principal organs are the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Secretariat, the International Court of Justice and the Trusteeship Council. But the fact is, the 5 veto-holding powers rule the organization, ignoring the equal rights of all countries, large and small, as defined by the UN Charter. It appears to be mostly the US and Russia that are dominating it. The political agendas of both those states are causing the failure of the organization. One cannot find even one achievement by the Security Council that executes the maintenance of international order. Instead, it has approved resolutions that cause the destruction of peace and harmony among the nations. Besides other disputes and issues, the Palestine and Kashmir resolutions are still in the hands of politically motivated agendas and are never implemented or enforced. Meanwhile, in Iraq and Afghanistan, false adventures backed by the Security Council and so-called fair and neutral global media have proved that fighting terror with terror may result in hell. The United Nations' present role is just to report on violence, hunger, atrocities, and numbers of deaths and release statements of condemnation while executing nothing other than a routine practice. The Security Council has become unable to resolve any disputes. No one takes its resolutions seriously. Its history is open and known to each one of us. Highly sensitive issues that are paving the way to a third world war are scarcely considered. In one example of a gradual progression toward war, the installation of a U.S. missile defense system in South Korea and military exercises preparing to destroy North Korean assets show that this practice is underway. Far from being deterred, North Korea has announced successful tests of its long-range missiles, which pose not only a threat to the U.S. but also to the whole world. Meanwhile, the UN Security Council is under the dictation of the major powers at a time when the whole world is at a risk of global destruction. In this situation, one feels fear in such a panicked atmosphere where the world is increasingly moving toward a third world war, and it seems that the war has been waiting to erupt, written in the soil of North Korea. Now it depends on the United Nations to perform its task to bring together the states of the world, small and large, respecting their rights to equal respect under the Charter, to execute the real conception and purpose of the organization, to maintain the global peace through the collaboration of the mutual interests of all countries. If it fails to do so and the waves of lies coming from the White House prevail, the result will be massive destruction in the world, while the loss of lives and resources the US has already sustained will be for nothing. The US has to recognize the sovereignty of other states and their right to self-determination, otherwise, an unjust and unilateral political and diplomatic role will create hatred and conflict among other countries. In such an atmosphere, any political or strategic mistake could trigger the state of mind for an imminent third world war.